If you leave an ice cube on the counter, it eventually melts into a puddle. But it's easy to reverse that process. You just put the water back in the freezer to get the solid cube back. Other changes aren't so simple. You cannot unfry an egg, turn rust back into a shiny iron nail, or fix a glass of milk that has soured in the summer heat. Melting ice is a physical change. The water looks different as a solid, but its identity remains the same throughout the process. When you fry an egg or watch a nail rust, the original materials are reorganized into different substances. This is a chemical reaction. The first chapter of our textbook identifies these common events, like food cooking or iron exposed to humid air, as foundational examples of these chemical transformations. When these transformations occur, they produce specific, observable markers that help us identify that a reaction is taking place. We can identify a chemical reaction by looking for 4 specific physical indicators. The first indicator is a shift in color. This happens because the internal structure of the material is changing. Shiny iron reacts with moisture and oxygen in the air to become reddish-brown rust. The change in color reflects a change in the metal's composition. In the lab, we see this when an iron nail is placed in a blue copper sulfate solution. The nail develops a brownish coating as the chemicals interact. This shift in appearance shows that the atomic arrangement of the metal has changed. Another indicator is the release of gas. When we mix materials and see bubbles forming, it shows a new gas is being produced. This experiment shows zinc granules dropped into dilute sulfuric acid. The reaction generates hydrogen gas, which we see as bubbles rising from the metal. We see this same effect when baking soda reacts with vinegar to create foam, or when bread dough rises. A third indicator is a change in temperature. Many chemical reactions generate their own heat. A campfire is wood transforming into ash and gas. As the chemical bonds change, they release the energy that was stored within the wood. When molecules break apart to form new bonds, they often release energy into their surroundings as heat. These bubbles and temperature shifts are the observable results of new chemical bonds forming. We also look for changes in state. This happens when mixing 2 liquids produces a solid, cloudy powder. This solid is called a precipitate. It forms as a result of the collision between the chemicals in the liquids. These 4 signs, changes in state, color, gas emission, and temperature, are the criteria scientists use to confirm a chemical reaction has occurred. Observing these indicators helps us understand how the atoms in these substances are rearranging into something new. These observations fit into a framework that describes the beginning and end of every reaction. The starting materials, like iron and oxygen, are called reactants. The new substance that results, like rust, is the product. We can represent this sequence as an equation. The reactants are listed on the left, followed by an arrow showing the direction of the change, and the products on the right. This formula describes how substances grow, decay, and change throughout the world. These same chemical transformations are happening inside your body right now. When we eat, our bodies use chemical reactions to digest food and power cells through respiration. Equation 1.18 shows the chemistry of respiration. It describes how glucose and oxygen react to produce carbon dioxide, water, and the energy we need to survive. This reaction provides the energy that keeps your heart beating and your lungs functioning. The next time you cook a meal or see a rusting bike, you are observing the same chemical principles that keep you alive.